going to inspect and inventory this exact white 16 Volvo V90 cross country. I'm just going to trace the slats here, gently touching the Volvo emblem, moving down to the lower intake. The front corner feels dry and dusty, and I want to follow every seam before we open anything. The mirror cap is smooth, the seal is gritty, and this outer edge tells us how the car has been sitting here. The rear handle pocket holds the finest grit, so I am checking it slowly before moving inside. There is a small parking receipt here in the door pocket, lightly curled and dry, the kind of thing that slips down and stays hidden.
We are looking at a white 2016 Volvo V90. I'm tracing the seam of the rear door now, moving into
This narrow rail area traps lint and grit, and I want to clear it without missing anything small. Okay, focusing now on the sill trim right here, moving carefully along the hinge area, and the rubber seals seem intact.
The front mat is holding tiny gravel and soft dust, so I am lifting the edges very gently. This cable is lightly twisted and dusty, but it is still neatly tucked and surprisingly clean at the connector ends.
The steering wheel spoke feels smooth, tapping the hard plastic twice. Now inspecting the ignition area, the start-stop button. The vent fins are dry and the shelf lip holds a fine, soft line of dust that makes every movement sound delicate. There is a small earbuds case here, smooth, matte, and lightly powdered with dust from the tray. Let's look at the center console of this V90. I'm gently sliding the cover back now and lifting this rubber insert very carefully. The armrest leather feels dry on top and cooler near the seam where the lid opens. The glove box lining is smooth and quiet, and the stacked papers shift with a soft, dry scrape. These insurance papers are folded tight, a little stiff from the dry air, and dusty mostly along the outer corners. This visor slot is shallow, but thin items can still stay here unnoticed for a long time. This side pocket is narrow and shallow, but it still sounds hollow enough to deserve a slow check.
A transcription is an empty string because the user explicitly requested no spoken words in the last part of the prompt.
There is a compact OBD adapter here, tucked beside the rail, hard plastic, squared edges, and a thin layer of grit on the top.
The carpet under the mat is darker, softer, and packed with fine gravel dust from repeated use.
The visor pocket is thin and quiet, and the roof fabric makes every touch feel even softer.
The rear seat looks cleaner at first glance, but the lower spaces are always where the hidden details stay.
This buckle gap is tight and deep, and the leather crease beside it can hide very small things. This little notebook has a dry cover, squared corners, and pages that barely separate with the glove. The center seam is firmer than the sides, and the release point feels slightly cooler under the glove. There is a membership card deep in this center recess, flat, clean-edged, and almost invisible against the shadow.
The right seat seam narrows sharply, so anything flat here can disappear beneath the fold. The audio features a woman's voice speaking in a soft, breathy ASMR whisper, consistent with the description.
This floor area sounds softer because the mat is thicker here, but the rail edge still catches the sharper grit.
The cargo opening is wide and quiet, and the lower floor feels rougher than the cabin mats.
There is a warning triangle pouch under this floor layer, fabric covered, flat, and coated with a soft, dusty film. A small USB flash drive is tucked in the left recess, hard-edged, cool to the touch, and almost hidden by the pocket shadow. Now moving to the right side recess panel.
The lower cargo lid feels denser than the mat above it, and the compartment underneath sounds much deeper.
This premium sunglasses case is smooth and rigid, with a fine, dusty line settled into the hinge side.
There is a single key hidden in the inner tailgate cavity, small, metallic, and cold against the plastic trim.
Let's carefully lift the hood now, and here we have the engine. I'm gently running my gloved fingers along the wiring harness.
I am moving back to the front now to finish the last careful checks around the hidden front margins. This underhood channel is narrow and dusty, more a place for trapped debris than for larger objects. The inspection is complete, and this exact white Volvo has been checked calmly from the outer seams to the deepest storage spaces.